I don't want to make decisions about what to work on because I will always, knowing myself, always choose the easy way out. Instead, I let this make all of the decisions for me. Attention chiropractors, slayers of subluxation, unleashers of the imprisoned impulse, and protectors of the developing brain. Welcome to the Cranial Doc Podcast, where we master the work that actually changes lives. Craniopathy, nervous system-based care, and the business systems that let you scale without selling your soul. I'm Dr. Anthony Pellegrino, pediatric chiropractor, certified craniopath, and proud automation geek. Let's dive in. What's up there, subluxation slayers? Just real little bit of a different episode today. I am just riffing right now. I've basically been talking into this microphone and camera for the last 3 hours. Was interviewed for the ICPA's Pathway Connect podcast with Dr. Brendan Reardon, which was awesome. Had a great time. Recorded some really great content for the practice and for, of course, this podcast. And I am just really fired up and slaying it. And I had a small window left that I had blocked off to continue recording for this podcast. And I just had an idea that popped into my head. And that's kind of the whole concept about that blocking this off. Now, today we are going to talk about a tool that is my superpower. And if you struggle with time management, if you are slightly ADHD like me, and organization is the piece that you really need the most help with, not organization of other things in your system and procedures. In fact, you probably have amazing systems and procedures because you need them or nothing happens. Like people and all the time come into my office and they're like, wow, your systems are so dialed. And it's like, because if they're not, I kill everyone, right? Your internal systems are probably what you need the most help with, which is the reason you're listening to this in the first place, which is the reason that you're so excited when I talk about things like VAs and different AI tools and automations, because you can't do all the different things that you want to do. So let me tell you about the calendar tool that I use that changed my life. It is called Motion. By the way, there is no referral code. I do not get paid. It is something that I am just telling you about because it's that effing awesome. This is what Motion is. It is an AI calendar, okay, that syncs with your Google Calendar, whatever else that you use. It syncs whatever you use, and then you input tasks, durations, and descriptions, priority, and due dates. And it completely organizes exactly what you need to be working on every single second of the day. I'm looking at mine right now, and I have a little bit more time that was dedicated to the Cranial Doc podcast episode before I go into the block, which is finish shit around the house, which is what I'm doing next. So here's the deal. How do I use this? This is linked with the Google Calendar and everything else in my office that blocks off, which puts things on where when I am in the office, the times that I am not able to work on things, okay? I also have in there the times that I have dedicated for deep work that is outside of the office, like Friday morning where we're closed, which is right now when I'm recording this, Tuesday morning, like different things like that when my kids are at school and when I just have time to do anything at home and get some really big, deep work done. So in there, what I have is any of my weekly recurring tasks or anything else like that. I basically put in and say, okay, cool. Every week, every month, every quarter, however often, these are the different things that I have to do, which is due on this date, and this is how long it takes. Anytime I have any sort of task or anything else like that, me or my executive assistant will go into the calendar and say, this is the thing that we need to do. This is when it is due, and this is how long I need to block to be able to get this done. I also will go, and you can do projects as well. Like right now, I am working on finishing my course on Foundations of Cranial Adjusting, which be on the lookout for that. It is going to be awesome. I'm literally just recording the different pieces that's in the calendar. I have the due date for that, which I won't share with you, and the different blocks to be able to do that, while I am also writing my talk for the ICPA gathering, which I hope to see you there, which is going to be awesome, super deep on cranial work, sympathetic stress, and taking a little spin on it that maybe you wouldn't expect. Maybe you would if you know me, but maybe people are going to be very surprised. I'm also writing a talk for Dr. Amy Spolstra's Focus VIP event. So I've got all of these different pieces that are going on. I have some other projects and scaling for the office and other stuff like that going on. It's way too much for me to be able to organize. And what would typically happen would be that I would procrastinate. You get it. For me, you add an extra 20 procrastinations and it's like, how do I do 40 hours of work in 12 hours, right? And so what I did was basically, let's say I have these talks, I had AI help me break down the different deliverables that I need by what date to make sure I had it done in time to be able to give it the appropriate amount of time to practice. I then went and created a project in my motion calendar, which said these are all of the different deliverables that we need to make this project happen. These are when all of those different deliverables need to be done by and how long each of them is going to take. And then my calendar automatically organizes and does the rest. So I just pulled up my calendar for next week. I can see, man, I have a lot of in-office stuff done for next week. That's actually a big challenge. I can see I have different blocks of recording content that is blocked off. I have some different things around the house that I have blocked off. But this is something I really need to pay attention to because a lot of my work in the office is really, with offices blowing up right now. So the good news is that it's not giving me any alerts that any of my deliverables are overdue. So as long as I stay on task with everything, I should be good. This is something I look at every day. It tells me exactly what I'm going to be working on, what's on the agenda, and outside of the appointments that I have, what in between every break that I have, what exactly do I need to be working on every single second of the day. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, by the way, you put in a new task and it completely reorganizes everything to make it happen, right? Check out usemotion.com. There's no promo code. There's nothing else like that I know of. Maybe I have a link, but I don't know what it is to give you. This is something that I absolutely love. It has become my superpower. People ask me all the time, how do you get so much done? And honestly, this is how. I don't want to make decisions about what to work on because I will always, knowing myself, always choose the easy way out. Instead, I let this make all of the decisions for me. This is my system of productivity by Motion Calendar. Enjoy. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Cranial Doc Podcast. I hope you got a ton of value out of today's episode. And if you did, it would mean the world to me if you jumped over to iTunes or your favorite podcast player of choice and subscribed, rated, reviewed, and shared this episode with a friend that you know could benefit. We have a ton of this information and more in our free email series at thecranialdoc.com. So go ahead and jump on there, subscribe, and get me raw, unfiltered in your inbox every week, changing your practice. Can't wait to see you for the next episode.